Hi everybody, it's Lisa. I'm going to jump in and do a quick unbagging from Kokorosa Studio, and then I'm going to show you how to make the easiest ephemera ever. These are unisex inks. They come in a 4-pack. They're very wet inks. They're dewdrop inks. I'm going to show you how I use them. Then I got this stencil. It's really cute. It's of these two witches over a Halloween cauldron. And Kokorosa Studio makes many stencils, and I thought this one was really cute for this time of year. And now I am going to open 3 sets of stamps. If you know anything about me, I love to stamp. So these are the stamps we're going to use in the ephemera project today. And I'm going to show you each one before we dive right into it. This one is of leaves and pumpkins, and there's some sentiments on there. There's a little mushroom as well. Really cute. And then this one is also very autumn-fallish. And there's some sentiments and flowers and a field, and I'm going to show you how I use them as well. And then the last set of stamps are pumpkins, another mushroom cluster, some leaves, a wreath, and a sentiment. So I'm going to show you exactly how to use everything to make the easiest ephemera ever. This is for people that don't like to draw or paint. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to create things for your journals. Now I am using a really nice piece of watercolor paper. The paints are just Crayola paints. And here I am just taking some water and spraying my colors to get them nice and saturated. You should work with wet watercolors, obviously. And then I'm also going to have a little glass up here with water. I like to use a rounded big brush. And on this piece of paper, all I am going to do is just paint random bits of colors. Just do whatever you want to do with the colors. You can have it as wet or as dry as you like, but the goal is to fill up the whole sheet of paper with colors that you like. I am going to fast forward this part because all I am doing is just applying the watercolors to paper into something that's pleasing to me. And there's no right or wrong way to do this. The goal is to fill up the sheet, and then I'm going to let the paper dry. Because we're going to do 2 things. We're going to stamp on this paper, and we're also going to stamp on plain paper, which I'm going to hand watercolor in at the end of this video. And then I'm going to show you how to incorporate everything into your journals so you can make your own ephemera, and I think the outcome is going to be really nice. So while the watercolor is drying, I am just going to do a demonstration with the stamps. The first part of this is going to be a little bit on just regular speed, and I'm going to use 2 inks. I'm going to use the inks that I received in my order, this Junix. And you'll see this ink is a very wet ink, but it's really pretty. So here I am just doing a leaf, and I'm using the green color. And throughout this section of the video, it's heavily edited where, you know, I might be pressing down on a stamp much longer than what would appear, but I edited it out. So here's the first stamp I did. It's beautiful. It's green, beautiful. And here's the second one I did. It's actually pink. I did the pumpkins here. And you'll see after I stamp it, it's going to have a very wet finish. So you have to set the Junix inks aside and let them fully dry, or else they're going to smudge. And this is actually very pretty. It's pink, but it will smudge. Now I'm switching over to my favorite kind of ink, which is VersaFine Clair in Noir Black or Nocturne. And I just love this ink because you could watercolor on top of it and the ink will not bleed or blend. So if you're looking for a good ink to watercolor with, VersaFine. This part of the video I am just demonstrating most of the stamps that were received in the order. This is the reef. It came out really pretty, as you will see. And I will be coloring in these stamps, which are totally optional. Now I'm back with the wet Junix. I'm doing a leaf in green. And I'm going to do a pumpkin in green as well. Like I said, oh no, excuse me, that pumpkin is back to the VersaFine. I'm going to do a row of mushrooms because I love mushrooms and they're fun to use in junk journals or planners. I will be painting these in at the end of the video with watercolors. Really cute. Here's the flower, like a big sunflower. It's gorgeous. I love the quality of the Kokorosa Studio stamps. And this is just like some wheatgrass that surprisingly I loved it. I loved how it's stamped out. It always helps to use a good quality ink. Here's some of the sentiments. Probably could have done a better job on these, but you can always fill in with pen when you make a mistake. That's back to the Junix green and the Junix pink, which I'm going to stamp out right here on the piece of paper. As you can see the wetness of the green and the pink. So I'm going to have to let it dry. Back to the VersaFine. So there I made a little mistake. Didn't stamp all the way. Very easy. You just take a pen and fill it in and you would never know the difference. I do that all the time where I don't have the right type of pressure and I have to fill in with pen. But with practice, you just get better and better. And really what I edited out, I press on a stamp much longer than you see in this part of the video. But for your time, for your sake of time, I edited out. Now here's where I used the pumpkin cluster and I didn't have ink on the far left hand side and I just penned it in with a regular pen and I'll hold it up to the camera. Just that side I just didn't apply enough ink and you'll see everything came out really pretty. I'm doing some more flowers. I try to use every available sheet of paper. Now here is the watercolor paper. It's completely dry and I'm stamping on it. So what's nice about this is after you finish stamping, you can just leave it as is with the colors underneath, or you could add more color on top. It's just an option where if I just wanted to cut it out and leave it like this, I'd be good to go. And I like the way it turned out. Remember, watercolor dries light, so when you put it on the paper and it looks darker, it is going to dry a little bit lighter. And this is just a review of everything I stamped out, and I'm going to cut it off camera. I will be doing some painting before I cut, so this part I'm going to fast forward, but I'm using on the top right, that's just a cheap watercolor set by Crayola, and I actually love how the colors, how they apply on the paper, and the pigments are really nice. And then the colors on the left is a little bit more expensive set. I can't remember the name offhand, and I use both to do some of these sheets that I stamped out. And with the VersaFine Claire inks, when you use watercolor, nothing's going to bleed. It's going to come out really nice. Here's another sheet. I'm just quickly watercoloring. I'm, not a watercolor artist by any means. It's always good to maybe apply a light coat and then go over with a darker color. You should let it dry, but you don't have to, between coats. As you can see, it's turning out pretty nice. And I did speed up this part of the video just because I don't like to put out like hours long video. I'm respectful of everybody's time. But you don't have to be a talented artist to just have fun. And the more you practice, I think the better one becomes. And I am going to cut these out off camera and show you what you can do with them at the very, very end of the video. I still have a few more sheets to paint, which I'm going to paint, and then I will cut it out. And you don't have to use it all at once. You can just keep it in your stash of ephemera. And yeah, I find it very relaxing. Very relaxing to do this kind of thing. I wish I devoted more time to it, but give it a try. And stay tuned to see what I do with all this lovely ephemera.
Hi guys, I am back. So it's the next day. I was very ambitious thinking I could cut everything out. There was no way I can cut everything out. But what I did manage to cut out, I'll show you here. And I think everything turned out really nice. This is just simple watercolor. That's all I used. I didn't use colored pencils, just some watercolor, different techniques that I like to use. I am by far not an artist, and I just wanted to show you what you could easily do yourself using some basic watercolor supplies. Make your own ephemera. I was going to do a demonstration of how I would use this, but I am running out of time and I want to get this video posted, so I just thought I would show you some of the cute bits that I made and encourage you to make your own, because it's so easy to do some simple stamping, some simple painting, to make nice bits and bobs, as the British like to call it, and have a stash ready for use. And when I tell you that I just use regular paints, let me show you. I use Crayola watercolor paints. This is a kid's set. I think this was once my son's set. And I have another set here. I'm not sure of the brand of it. I use this as well. So I got some more cutting to do. And yeah, I think this was a fun project. So if you have any questions for me, if you have any questions about paper I used, I will link below my Kokorosa Studio code to get 15% off your entire order. You can use it over and over and over again, that code. I'll link that down below in the comments and on screen. And thank you for joining me today. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd love if you give me a subscribe. And a like is always, always, always appreciated. All right, guys, I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.